What's going on, you guys? So your Las Vegas Raiders fell to the Denver Broncos by a score of 34-18. Not great, but there is lots to take away from this one. And I have a whole video I'm going to make about what the Raiders can do from the quarterback situation. We'll get there when we get there. But, I mean, that's going to be the number one question. But today we're here to cover who really stood out and fizzled out. Obviously, those of you who have been around the channel know where I'm going with this. But everybody's got their own edition of winners and losers. Ours is standouts and fizzouts because of players that stood out. And also players that fizzled out, which because of pop, normally I'd have a Coke can right here, but I don't have any Coke around lately. Just a lot of chocolate milk. I gotta start drinking more pop. The reason we think that it's for fizz outs is because pop is the greatest thing since sliced bread, and it needs to replace all water. Let us know what kind of pop you guys drink in the comment section down below. Is that Coke, that Pepsi, that Diet Dr. Thunder that we all know and struggled with for however long? But let us know in the comment section which kind of Coke, or excuse me, pop slash soda that you guys drink. So let's jump right into it. We're going to start out with the good, and we're going to go from there. So Aiden O'Connell was good outside of that interception. So was Gardner Minshew when he's not throwing red zone interceptions or interceptions in general. I'm going to give them like both half a star at this point because it is what it is. But for the rest of this team, I got to give up for guys like Amir Abdullah, came in and really gave this team a spark. 5 for 42 and a touchdown. Alexander Madison had some good runs in there, even though the Raiders, this offensive line's got to get its things going a little bit. Brock Bowers, probably, arguably, in my opinion, the man of the match. 8 catches, 97 yards, and a touchdown. Had that, 57-yarder right at the beginning of the game. That it just shows you the big playability that all you need to do is just throw it up to Brock Bowers and let him do his thing, because he is a next-level talent, and that's exactly what the Raiders need to do. So Brock Bowers looked fantastic. Jacoby Myers also found himself open in a couple of things there, so they need to get him the ball a lot more. And, offensively for the Raiders, this offensive line wasn't awful, but I know we've seen a lot better, and maybe that's just, us saying awful is because we've seen really bad in the past, but allowed 3 sacks on Aiden O'Connell / Gardner Minshew, and it's just... It is what it is with the offensive line, but the running game, to me, was looking better than it has in years past. But overall, or games past, but overall did have 115 yards on the ground, which is good to see. But that's as far as it on the offensive side. Now, defensively, there were some players that did some good things. Guys like Robert Spillane was everywhere. But trust me, we'll get into tackling and fizz-outs. But overall, he led the defense with 10 total tackles. Also, Trayvon Moehrig had 8 tackles on the day. Now, it's never usually good when your starting safety is getting tackles, or leading the team in tackles, but it is what it is. Also, Christian Wilkins had another sack this week. You love to see it. He's getting into the action. Max Crosby, either Brock Bowers or Max Crosby are the guys that you could make an argument for the man of the match. Crosby was a little bit injured, but he came back and did some really good things for your defense. But just defensively, tackling and the lack of turnovers is really getting to me at this point. So, and I really don't know what that really entails. So, as far as the rest of it, like we said, I mean, Madison looked good, Abdullah looked good, Brock Bowers looked good. After that, things got a little dicey. So, fizz out. So, first off, this quarterback situation is effed. I think at some point the Raiders need to make a play for somebody, or maybe they need to go get a mobile quarterback. I don't know at this point because their offensive line sucks, and they just need to get things together, and they need to have a better offensive plan, that is. Also, defensively, overall, you allow 34 points to Bo Nix, where, honestly, 20, what was it? It wasn't even, it was 27, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It was 27 points to Bo Nix, where 7 of those points came on a pick 6 that obviously Gardner Minshew threw in the first half there. But this offense for the Broncos is not amazing. The run defense wasn't anything to write home about. Allowed 109 yards on the ground, just barely beating them in the rushing attack. Bo Nix also added a rushing touchdown, so you had 3 touchdowns on the day. And this offense is not that special. It's really not. And you made it look pretty respectable. And so it's just... Bo Nix isn't bad, but you made him look really good, which says something about that. So the offense and the defense both have some things to go on here. As far as the rest of the fizz-outs, tackling was so huge because you saw it on that K'Lavon Chaisson missed tackle there early in the game where I think it was Marvin Mims who, that was the first one that Marvin Mims broke, that screen pass that he just absolutely shot out of a cannon. And then also the punt return. Special teams was a fizz-out because Marvin Mims had himself a huge punt return that really spurred another touchdown for the Broncos there. Oh yeah, and by the way, that little Jordan Humphrey missed tackle that Robert Spillane missed, tackling is horrible on this team right now. We got to get back to the fundamentals. We got to get back to the basics. You got to finish through your tackles, and we need more big plays, specifically in the backfield and also making tackles at the first point of contact. So tackling was not great. Also, this quarterback situation, like we touched on, I don't know who you go with at this point, but it's got to be somebody. It can't be Gardner Minshew. It can't be Aiden O'Connell. Even though Aiden O'Connell, I don't necessarily put the interception on him. Brock Bowers should have caught that. He just hit him right in the hands, and then it popped up in the air. So not great, but this quarterback situation, we got to take care of the football better. We got to run the football better. We got to play better defense. That's ultimately what it comes down to. We really don't even need a superstar quarterback right now with all the things that we got going. Play better defense, run the ball, and take care of it. That's all it entails. So, honestly, at the end of the day, a little disappointing. The Raiders, going to look at this loss and going to be a little salty, which I get. But now it's on to the Steelers. It's on to the Steelers. Can't do anything about it now. No crying in the water, or whatever the saying goes. It is what it is. Move on. Let's go after the Steelers, and let's go from there. But overall, let us know what you guys think. Who are standouts and fizzouts maybe that we missed? Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and we'll see you on the next video.